Depends how old you are.
Actually, I think I thought of...
Do you want to line us all up?
No, I'll just take you.
Why not?
I wish I had now. Better than nothing.
Why did you say nothing? Because you couldn't think of anything at the moment, or you think...
I thought of penises first up.
And why did you think of penises when you heard the word feminism?
I don't know.
Repression.
Because I haven't experienced...
Refreshed by penises.
Yes, that's right.
Wishful thinking.
This one here is obsolete, not you, has the word obsolete. And she is the youngest of the lot of us. So that's an interesting
right,
little
yeah,
observation.
That is a big observation.
So when you put suffragettes there,
Did you mean the woman who went up in
Yeah,
the...
she thought the same
The
thing.
very first image that came into my mind was her.
Yeah, she said that. It reminds me of the suffragettes and women holding their banners.
Did you hear about the female suffragette that went to England? And and got the the big balloon, one of those big balloons called.
Yeah.
And she hired it to take the banners out and throw them down over King George V's inaugurational procession. But the Hindenburg, like the Hindenburg it went up and it went the wrong way.
Oh,
Dirigible.
The dirigible. But she still hurled the banners. And people still picked the banners up, and children were told not to read the banners and all the rest of it. You know, it was just so brave to do. She was an Australian.
Yeah.
She was an Australian.
Yeah, she chained herself to the British Parliament's...
Do you remember her name?
No. She chained herself to the British Parliament's grill, because women weren't allowed into Parliament. Women in England didn't have a vote, and they weren't allowed to make any comment. So she chained herself. She could only look through this little grill. She chained herself to the grill. And the British police came, she shouted, "Votes for women, votes for women." The British police came and they cut the grill out and they carried her and the grill out. She had the key round her neck. She didn't mention that. They carried her out, and we don't know her name, but we know Ned Kelly's name, and we know about his armour, and she was chained to the grill for her cause.
And we still don't know.
Still take the vote for granted.
And it's so much like that. Like even like Gertrude Bell. If you look at like Gertrude Bell, like nobody's ever heard of her. Like
Yeah,
she
who is she?
actually was the
Who's
person.
Gertrude Bell?
Who's Gertrude Bell? See, this is it. Nobody knows.
Well,
Who's
please
Gertrude Bell?
educate us.
Well, she was one of the first people to get, like Charles Darwin and everyone got that award in England for like being...
Oh, yeah, for bio...
Yeah, what's it called? I'm not sure of the name. She actually received that award. And she was the first woman to ever get that award. She also climbed at least 3 or 4 mountains in Switzerland that are named after her.
And we don't know.
And then she went to Saudi Arabia, that whole area. And she travelled around there on a camel for all her life by herself.
Yeah.
And she made friends with all the different nomadic tribes. And when it come to like splitting all those countries up, Churchill went to her and asked her, where do we put the boundaries?
I've seen a movie. There's
and
a movie
Lawrence
about her.
of Arabia was actually her little lackey. And
Yeah, there's a movie about her, something of that. There's
Sands
a...
of the Desert. Yeah.
Yes, I've seen that movie.
She was
Yes.
Yeah. And she actually then she opened up the museum in Iraq. She was like, and they had every, like all the earliest written words and amazing, like just amazing. And she's
Jenny,
just totally repressed.
When you say obsolete, why did you say that word for
I just
feminism?
feel like for Australian women, obsolete. Like I just don't think it's relevant in Australia anymore.
Why don't you think it's relevant?
Well, I just feel like women have lots of rights these days.
We have lots. Do we have equal rights to men?
Definitely, yeah.
Do we have the same pay as men? If
Yes. Yeah.
Trained dentist women do not come out on the same salary as trained dentist males.
I would have thought that we would have the same
But
pay. I don't think
it isn't,
women
because they say that
receive as higher rating jobs, but I think that's more because of their role in life.
their role in life. What's their role in life?
Well, I think that predominantly women have and always will be childbearers, and that's just natural and nature's way. And
What about the woman who chooses not to have
I think a
children?
woman that chooses not to have children can and will get a higher wage.
You were talking as a single woman about the difficulty you've experienced with other women about your position. Could you tell us about that, please, Judy?
It seems to me that women who are on their own and don't have a partner or husband are simply not invited to outings or events where there are couples involved. Whether it's the unevenness of a dinner party, which I think personally is a load of rubbish, or because I love odd numbers.
Like 3.
I love 7 as well.
Oh, me too!
Do you think that would apply if you were a single man, though?
It doesn't apply if you're a single man.
No,
Whether
definitely
you're a
not.
widower or unmarried, men get invited because they talk to the other men, and the men aren't particularly challenged by another man in the house, I think.
Yeah.
And whereas women, if there's a single woman at the table and there's your husband, no.
I'm going to go back. I can't get both of you in the shot, but you were talking before, which reminded me of this, about what you've seen in some Asian countries. We won't name the particular country, of the treatment of women.
Well, I've been to many, many countries, and I just think that women in other countries have very little rights at all.
Can you explain a little
Well,
bit
I
more?
think,
Give us examples.
That a woman that's particularly low caste in India would have 0 rights. Her husband has full rights to burn her, and no prosecution is given. Like, it's not even against the law. You know, like if your mother-in-law wants to dose you with poison, that this is fine. And I've met many women that this has happened to. So like, or sisters, or family.
So, feminism has something to do with identity in a way. Am I thinking, because the Western woman, you feel, doesn't need feminism, but women from other cultures with a different identity need? Do you
100%,
think that Western women can support those women and make life better for them?
Only if
I don't mean
the
tomorrow.
women are accepting of a Western woman.
I don't mean by going there personally,
I think
but
often
through, say,
that
for
through-
example, Amnesty International, or supporting issues, using the media, using internet, using that voting power to say we don't agree with your sentencing and
I think
things.
often in the situations that I've seen that it is the women that do the repressing.
Okay.
So I think that makes it harder because, like it's mostly the women that arrange the daughter's marriage as a dowry payment, and like it's not necessarily a male that's doing the
But they
repressing.
support it.
It's because they support it and they feel like their daughter will be more marriageable or have a better life or whatever they're thinking.
It's a cultural thing, isn't it?
It is a cultural thing.
Again, to do with
or
identity.
a religious
Yeah.
thing. It might be more religious.
Do you have anything to say on that, Chris? About
No,
do you think that women from a different country have any right to interfere with? Do you think we should support our sisters in solidarity or something like that?
I do think we should, but I do agree with Jen that I think often it's the women in those societies that
absolutely.
perpetrate that behaviour. So they have it so ingrained in them that it's the right thing to do for genital mutilation or whatever, that they actually carry it out. So, and they,
Keep them down.
particularly in the mother-in-law role, so they're the mother of the man, is then in charge of the woman and can burn her or tip acid on her or
Or simply
whatever
just
she
use her
feels.
as a slave to
Yeah,
burn out.
exactly, to be the boss of her. And it's almost a role that sometimes women have encouraged.
Yeah. So I had. So you think this is for all of you? Do you feel that it's because of the men in our society that we have been? I shouldn't say allowed. That we have some men supportive of our motives in the feminist agenda.
Yes, and I think we're extremely fortunate that we do, but I think a lot of women don't have men supportive of their feminism or their thoughts towards equality, let's say. Because I think the word feminism brings up thoughts of radical behaviour, and which really it's just quality that everybody's looking for, be it a different colour.